Thanks so much for joining us once again for another episode of Broadway Profiles. I'm Tamsin Fidel. Eric Petersen is a veteran of 4 Broadway shows, most recently the Jimmy Buffett musical Escape to Margaritaville. Now his big break in television. Eric stars alongside Annie Murphy of SCHITT'S CREEK in the ambitious new AMC show Kevin Can. Yeah, we definitely can't say that on network TV. It's a dark satire lampooning the frequent sitcom trope of wisecracking schlubby husbands with wives who ruin the party, and more importantly, what happens when those women take the lead.
Hey, where's our breakfast? You're not supposed to have favorites.
Kevin's my husband.
I'm the gift that keeps on giving, baby!
Sorry I passed out in your rose bushes last night.
Oh, Miss Hercules over here.
You got a new show, and I'm actually not allowed to say the name of your show, but you're allowed to say the name of your show. So what's the name of your show?
The name of my show is Kevin Can Himself.
So how did you go into a pitch room with that? I'm just curious. How did that work?
Well, when the show was pitched to me, I was like, wow, this title is captivating, and it really gets your attention. And when they were asking me to audition to play said Kevin, I was like, I need to know more about this script. And once I read it, I was so excited because I love multicam sitcoms, and I've done a lot of multicam sitcoms in my career. And getting the chance to be a part of a show that was going to essentially make a multicam sitcom, but then also just like shake the hell out of it and dump it on its head and then put it back and have this whole second half of the show that happens in the single cam that's much more real and gritty. I was like, this is awesome. This is such a great idea. You could, as soon as it was described to me, I was like, I can see it. And then once the way that they sort of edited it all together and executed it, I think it's really come together beautifully.
And there's so many examples of those kind of traditional ones where you've got like the hot wife, and you've got King of Queens, and you've got all sorts of things. But it's exciting to see a premise like this with that twist, because that's a serious twist, and we never get to see that usually.
It really is. And I think the way to watch our show is sort of explained to the audience within literally 3 minutes of the pilot. The show starts in a brightly lit classic sitcom living room, and it's got all the sort of tropes that you would expect: the sort of schlubby husband, the hot wife with the laundry basket, the dumb best friend, the sort of dad who's grumpy in his chair, the best friend neighbor who's kind of a wisecracking gal, So it has all those things that feel familiar and feel funny and feel like, oh yes, I know this and this makes me happy. And then as soon as Allison, played by the brilliant and wonderful Emmy-winning Annie Murphy, leaves the room, we follow her, and it's like, boom, smash cut, and you see that kitchen door close, and you see the camera zoom into her face, and you see all the cracks of the house, and there's cockroaches, and it's dimly lit, and there's no laugh track, and you really see her reality, and then the show goes back and forth between the two really beautifully.
Are those two totally different sets, or what do they do? And then they just make one, or is it just the way it's filmed?
It's just the way it's filmed. That's what's so trippy about it is, all of the dimensions of everything stay exactly the same. That when we shoot the multicam, for instance, in the family room, the sort of side walls are maybe angled just slightly, and then once we go into the single camera, they're sort of straightened out, and then we bring in the fourth wall and the ceiling, and the way that can change the show and the feeling of the room is nuts.
I'm a little bit of la 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 la, a little bit Alexis.
Well, let's talk about Annie Murphy coming off of her amazing run on SCHITT'S CREEK. What was she like to work with?
Annie was just great. I was sort of in the middle of binging SCHITT'S CREEK when this show happened, and so I was so excited, and I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm meeting Alexis, because when you're in the middle of a binge of a show, you know how you feel.
A little bit Alexis.
You did, yes, a little bit Alexis. And you really feel like you know these characters like deeply, and so when I met her, I was so happy to see that she's not Alexis, she is Annie Murphy, but she is so sweet and so funny and so smart, and she's such a great leader of our show, and she's just a kind person. She's very Canadian in that way, and that she's just kind and looks you in the eyes and is professional and polite. So she was a dream to work with.
Cheeseburger in paradise, make it
Jimmy Buffett, Skate to Margaritaville. When can we expect you back on the Broadway stage?
I don't know, but I hope soon. You know, I thank you. I love doing Broadway. It's my first love. It's sort of, you know, the way that I came up. So there's never any sense in my mind that would be my last Broadway show. Like I view my career as like, I do Broadway and I do TV and film. And so like, whatever project comes next, I go there, but I am hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be doing something again, hopefully very soon.